Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's old Pappy back with another one, and I thought I'd do a video today just kind of giving you a little bit of a tour of one of the maps that I played the other day. For some reason it never came up in my gameplay. I played maps that are by the ocean, I played maps that are almost in like a giant lava field, everything else like that, but I never ever played this map before. So it's called Siberia. Now where I live here in Canada, it's so cold I sometimes feel like we're living in Siberia, and I actually think people from Siberia might want to move to the Arctic Circle or someplace, but definitely not Canada, because I think we're actually colder than Siberia. But anyway, I just thought it was kind of a cool map. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into my little Velociraptor here, my Reaver, and I'm just going to kind of do a little bit of gameplay. You're going to see two separate games. Each of them are really, really short. They're only about maybe 5 minutes each or something like that. It's I mean, the gameplays are really, really quick for whatever reason. But just to kind of show you how beautiful this map is and just give you some of the idea of some of the features. And so one of the things you see right off the bat, you can see off in the left-hand corner there, you know, if you haven't played the game before, you start off in this sort of safe spawn area. And so that area that looks like a cave or something with that blue glow in the distance, that's actually our safe spawn area. And so what that means is that when you spawn in there, you can't shoot out of that area, but no one can shoot you when you're spawning. So it's kind of an interesting idea that Pixonic has brought in to try to avoid that sort of spawn raiding that goes on, where people just get into your spawn and you start annihilating you as you come into the game. Now, of course, in this tower mode, you can also spawn on any tower that you have captured. And if you haven't played the game, there's a tower right there. That's a good example. That's the enemy tower. It's red, and the way I cap it, after I scare this guy and nip his arse a couple times, the way you cap it is you basically go in, and there's these glowing triangles. I think there's four of them, I think, and you basically have to shoot them all, and then suddenly they turn blue. And one of the added benefits is you can teleport in to that area to spawn into the game, and it also gives you restores your health when you're in there, right? So it's really, really valuable to get these towers. And obviously, if you played any type of game that involves beacons, you can see the beacon bar on the top of our screen there, blue and red, and we're blue, they're red, as always. And so what I'm doing with my little Reaver guy here, in case it's basically one of the basic dinos that you come with as soon as you start the game. You're given 3 dinos. You're given the Reaver. I think it's called the Archon or something like Archon, which is sort of a sniper duckbill dinosaur, and you're given, is it called a Primarch, I think? It's the Ankylosaurus. It has a big club tail that will give you a really big headache if you get whacked with it. In my opinion, well, I just got myself a monster there. Hey, how do you like that? Times 2. So that's basically a kill streak. So one of the things I would say right off the bat is one of my favorite bots, or dino bots, is this Reaver here. He's just a little guy, and sweet good lord, look at the size of that Tyrannosaurus compared to me. You know, I'm not as far into the game as some people are. I notice some guys are just playing 24/7, and so they've already unlocked other slots. You can have up to 5 slots in your hangar. I did just recently unlock my 4th and then my 5th slot, but not in this game. It was just recently I was playing, and I got a couple big Tyrannosauruses ones, so I'm going to show off some gameplay for that later on in a different video. Look at that monster times 3. But basically, one of the things I wanted to do here, oh, look at that, we just got ourselves a victory here on Siberia. I'm actually thinking we're going to get right into it here. You see my final score there. I actually did pretty good in this one. I got MVP. I came first in damage, I think, and I came first in towers. So yeah, no, not a bad. You can see the little medals there. If you tap the medals, it'll actually tell you what they're for. So that's something I just figured out the other day. I was sitting there fiddling around with my screen. I'm like, I decided to tap the medals, and it kind of gives you specific breakdowns of what you've done. So anyway, let's get back into this map again. Again, this is just another game, really quickie. I just wanted to kind of show you, again, this is mostly not about the gameplay. It's all about the getting a chance to tour the map. And so what do I like about it? Well, I really love the size and feel of the map. Right? Like, it just, one of the things in fact, when I talk about these maps compared to War Robots maps, because I do videos for both and the same company makes both, is one of the things I really like about this. They were really creative in their map making. You can kind of see, look at these cool little areas I'm in here, this little sort of outcropping, this rock, which almost creates like a cave-like feel. Great place to hide and for me to zap over here in my Reaver and run over and cap this tower. Now there, that glowing mouth of hell kind of scene there, that is the other team's spawn, and I cannot get in there. If I run up against it, it's like a force shield, and I basically will be repelled and back out. It's also not a good place to hang around because, I mean, people could just spawn right in on top of you and then come right out and give you a good old chomping, so you don't want that. Anyway, I'm going to see here the beacon placement is pretty good. Like most maps, there's one in the middle, and then all the other ones are on the outskirts. One of the cool things, in case you're new to the game, you can see right there, there's an overview map. So you see that there's actually 5 beacons, and then there's a spawn on either end, which is our starting off spawn. But it really is a good thing that I find more and more. I'm actually keeping my eye on it more and more than I would have expected, because it really tells you which beacons are in trouble. I keep calling them beacons. They're actually towers in this game, but it keeps showing you which towers are in trouble, right? So you can kind of figure out where you're going to allocate your resources. You know, do you need to pitch in here? Do you need to pitch in there? Almost like, you know, if it's starting to flood, you can fill the sandbags where you need to, because you want to keep control of the towers for sure. I have lost several games because we lost tower control. The other thing you're going to find here is that big old duckbills are basically useless. This guy here doesn't even know I'm there, and I'm just nipping at his heels and bringing him down. I find that the Ankylosaurus is actually a pretty good robot or Dinobot. I've not upgraded him more than just up to level 4, I think, and I don't have the next version. It's actually worth mentioning again for players that are brand new. It's different than war robots in that you can't just mix and match your weapons, right? Each dino has a specific set or type of weapon, and then you can advance 3 levels. Usually it's a single shot, then 2 double shot, and then there's like a really powerful version on the end for shotguns or for these stink weapons that shoot this sort of green gas at you or whatever it's going to be. So that's part of the reason why I'm kind of holding off, unlike a lot of guys I'm seeing, I'm holding off upgrading my Dinobots, because I actually want to unlock the more powerful dinosaurs and then invest my resources into those weapons. Like, I don't really want to put a lot more time, effort, and resources into a little tiny Reaver with a shotgun if I can unlock a super Reaver of some sort with some sort of laser weapon or whatever. So that's a very different thing you have to think about as well with this game. Is I find it takes a little bit more wrapping your head around to try to figure out what is it you should do. It's almost like chess versus checkers. You don't want to make too many wrong moves now, because you may end up, you know, getting yourself into a corner. Like, if I just keep maxing and maxing and maxing this guy with his shotguns, I'm not going to be able to put those resources to like, say, a cooler version of a Velociraptor later in the game. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed that. It's just a very quick little look at the Siberia map. I think it's kind of cool. I'm not sure if it's my favorite map, but I like it better, say, than there's one with it's really dark with lava. I'll get the name for you right someday. But I found that one's a little hard to see. This one, it's very clear, which is really great. There's lots of cool places to hide, and lots of dynamic gameplay that goes there. So thumbs up from me. If you like what you see, what you hear, hit the like, hit the subscribe, share it with your friends, and until next time, I'll see you on the battlefield.